Michael D. Antonovich, a native of Los Angeles County, served the 2 million residents of the county's 5th supervisorial district since 1980 until his retirement last year. That's more constituents than in any congressional district in the country. As a government history teacher for the LAUSD in 1966, Mike credits his 5th grade teacher for the inspiration to enter public life. In 1969, he was elected to the LA Community College Board of Trustees. In 1972, he was elected to serve in the California State Assembly. He served 3 terms in the Assembly and rose to Republican whip. Presidents Ronald Reagan and George Bush appointed Mike to numerous presidential commissions and committees. In 1980, Mike was elected to serve the people of Los Angeles County as a member of the Board of Supervisors. I was 18 years old. I voted for Ronald Reagan and Michael D. Antonovich. His 36 years as LA County Supervisor was characterized by his commitment to public safety, effective and responsive representation, support of small businesses, our county's foster children, seniors, and veterans. He's an expert on government, transportation, and making government serve the people. Supervisor Antonovich resides in Glendale with his wife Christine, son Michael Jr., and daughter Mary Christine. That's the bio. The gentleman is a longtime friend and political mentor and model. Gracious, effective, a leader. California's best public servant for 4 decades. A hero of freedom. And today the American Freedom Alliance recognizes and thanks Michael D. Antonovich.
How you doing? Thank you. Let me, you may have read a quote in the Daily News, Pasadena Star News, and the other papers that they own. They wanted quotes from little puns. And a friend of mine who was a supporter and did my fundraisers for free was Bob Hope. And he said, politics is like show business. One day you're drinking the champagne, and the next day you're picking the grapes. One of the real honors I had in my public life, I represented Ronald Reagan at the 1976 convention on the platform committee and co-chaired the domestic policies issue. And we were able to get that platform adopted. But in that platform, it included choice in education, it included the tax incentives, it included all of those issues based upon the free market economic system and empowering the people to help make their decisions instead of having government basically tell you what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and fine you when you don't. And that campaign, which was very successful because I had all of the natural enemies, the Los Angeles Times and organized labor, et cetera. A man by the name of Ronald Reagan and Jonathan Winters started my campaign off with a major fundraiser at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. Ron, and we had James Clavell, a friend, the author of Shogun, there as well. Ronnie went up and gave a speech. We had about 500 people there. No notes, taking questions from the audience on Africa, on Europe, on South America, on Asia, on economic policies, all types of issues, the environment. And I had a few remarks as well. The Los Angeles Times covered that, but because they were not supporting Ron's event for to be a future president or mine to be a supervisor, the next day there was nothing in the newspaper on that event. And that's what we have today. We have a media that is basically spoon-feeding the public. And we have a very tough road ahead, but it's an achievable road. One that gets me very, very upset is now they're attacking the conservatives, those who believe in liberty, as racists. The Republican Party was founded against racism. Our first candidate for president, John C. Fremont, opposed racism. And when he was governor of California, he opposed the lynching laws and he was supporting freedom and he was against slavery as well. And then our president, Abraham Lincoln, was elected and died on that. But the Ku Klux Klan is the military arm of the Democrat Party. They were denying African Americans the right to vote in the whole public office. And it was Woodrow Wilson who reinstituted segregation in the federal workforce, which Republicans were able to eliminate when we were in control. The Democrats, when the freedom fighters were being hosed down in Alabama, Sheriff Bull O'Connor was the Democrat National Committee man from Alabama. And one of the wonderful speeches that was given by Ted Kennedy was when he was with George Wallace's talking about how wonderful George Wallace was, even though he was one of those standing in the door of allowing African Americans to attend school. What I don't understand is how we have tongue-tied elected officials who sit there and get smeared day after day after day and don't give the right history of what is taking place in this world, because it's very, very important. We don't have to create myths, but we can create with facts and history that choice in education will provide a better opportunity for all children regardless of race, color, or creed, that a strong foreign policy will protect our rights and help our allies be free, and that an economic tax system that encourages investment, entrepreneurship, and allow you to save your earnings without being confiscated through high taxation benefits all people regardless of race, color, or creed. The freedom, the philosophy of freedom, the philosophy of the free market system is the ability to move this country forward and not go back and be another Cuba, another Soviet Union, or any other oppressive country. We need to have better salesmen, saleswomen to articulate freedom, and that involves getting better people elected to the school boards, to the city council, supervisors, the state, and the federal office. And what is important, when the governors and the presidents make appointments, they don't appoint people from the ACLU, which I like to call the Atheist Criminal Liberties Union, but they appoint people from the Federalist groups and others who believe in a constitution and due process. If we don't like regulations, they should be passed by Congress and repealed by Congress. They ought not to be passed by regulatory agencies that are not elected by the people or are accountable to the people. Very, very important. And this is the basis of America, which made America great. I would like to see those who believe in freedom to get together and to help contribute to, and I'm talking about the fat cats. A lot of those people who jumped off of President Trump's domestic policy programs were the high-tech people who were supporting Hillary in the campaign. So don't expect them to say, we're going to stay and stick by you. They are going to make a play, and the media is going to play that up. We need to have better journalists, we need to have better accountability, and we need to have better ads. We have the worst marketing and the worst consultants. We have consultants with $75 haircuts on a 25-cent head. And what we need to have are consultants that are geared toward winning and geared toward the philosophy and not their pocketbook and those commissions that they get from selling ads on television and printing. Very, very important. So anyway, I appreciate the opportunity to have served you. We'll continue being involved in the community, but choice in education is so important. If choice didn't work in education, why is it the union teachers send their children to private or parochial schools? That started from the White House, from the previous administration, where President Obama sent his children to a private school, but was denying the children in Washington, D.C. that same opportunity. So thank you very much, and God bless you.